Hey, welcome. Today we are going to pull back the curtain on the corporate hiring process. You know, it can feel like a total black box sometimes, right? But I promise, by the end of this, you'll see it's actually a very deliberate and kind of fascinating system. All right, let's jump right in. I mean, it's a question that stumps pretty much everyone, whether you're looking for a job or you're already inside a company. One day there's a job posting online, you blink, and suddenly there's a new face in the office. What on earth happened in between? How does that huge digital stack of applications get whittled down to just one single person? Well, it is definitely not magic, and it's not random chance either. The whole thing works like a high-precision, industrial-strength funnel. The entire process is broken down into these 5 distinct stages, and each one is designed to filter and refine the search until, hopefully, the perfect candidate emerges at the very end. So let's start at the very top of that funnel, where it's widest. Before a single job ad ever gets posted, a ton of foundational work has to happen behind the scenes. This is all about creating the perfect blueprint for the person they want to hire. You see, the process doesn't just start with a manager saying, "Hey, I think we need someone." Nope. It officially kicks off when a department sends a formal request to HR. And you should really think of it like a detailed work order, a very specific request for a new resource with a very particular set of skills. And that work order? It has an official name, a recruitment requisition. This single document is the official starting gun for the entire race. It spells out exactly how many people they need, what they're going to be doing, and the qualifications they absolutely must have. So once that requisition gets the green light, HR performs what's called a job analysis. And this is where it gets really interesting, because it results in 2 totally critical but different documents. You've got the job description, which details the what, all the tasks and responsibilities. And then you have the job specification, which details the who, the skills, the experience, and even the personality traits they're looking for. Okay, so the blueprint is complete. The company knows exactly what the job is and who they're looking for. But now, they hit their first major fork in the road. And believe me, it's a big one. This is it. This is the single most important question in the strategy phase. Do we look inside the company and develop our existing people, in other words, make the talent we need, or do we go out into the open market to bring in fresh skills and new perspectives and buy our talent from the outside? And this breaks down the difference perfectly. If you make your talent, you're looking at your existing employees, maybe people in other departments, or even past applicants. It's just like a sports team promoting a star player from their minor league B team. But if you buy talent, you're running ads, using agencies, and looking for someone totally new. That's like signing a big-name free agent to completely change the team's dynamic. All right, once that make or buy strategy is locked in, the real search can begin. It's time to fire up the engines, activate the sources, and start building that initial, massive pool of candidates. This is the really active part of the process, right? The company isn't just looking for people, they're actively selling the job to the market. They're trying to communicate this great opportunity to as many potential candidates as possible, using either those internal or external channels we just talked about. So if they decided on that make strategy, this is their toolkit. They're going to be looking at internal promotions, posting the job on the company's own careers page, and really leading on employee referrals, which, by the way, are often a goldmine for fantastic candidates. They might even call up a great employee who left a while back. But if they went with the buy strategy, well, the net gets cast much, much wider. Now we're talking about public job ads on sites like LinkedIn, working with professional recruitment agencies, visiting university campuses to scoop up new grads, and tapping into big professional networks. Okay, so the search worked. The top of our funnel is now overflowing with applicants. But now comes the really critical part. How do you narrow it all down? Well, welcome to the great filter, the screening stage. This is the perfect way to think about it. The goal here is to methodically filter out anyone who just isn't a fit, layer by layer, so that only the purest, most qualified candidates make it through to the end. It is a totally systematic process, not a random one. And here are the 3 main layers of that filter. First up, someone in HR reviews every single resume, just checking for the basics. That's the first big cut. Then, the candidates who seem promising get a quick phone or video screen to check their communication skills. And finally, from that group, the absolute best are identified for the final round. So after all that sifting and filtering, what's left? A highly concentrated shortlist of just 5 to 10 candidates. Think about that. hundreds of applicants have been systematically narrowed down to this small, manageable group, which is then handed over to the hiring manager who's going to make the final call. So we've got our shortlist. A hire is about to be made. You'd think we're done, right? But the process isn't quite over. See, the final stage of the funnel isn't about the candidate at all. It's about the funnel itself.
This last part is called evaluation and control. This is where the company steps back and takes a hard look in the mirror. They ask those tough questions. Did our process actually work? Did we spend our money wisely? Was that make or buy strategy the right call for this job? It's a really crucial feedback loop that helps make the next hiring process even better.
And you better believe a huge part of that is looking at the cold, hard numbers. Everything gets measured. The cost of the job ads, any agency fees they paid, the salaries of the recruiters, even the value of the time that managers spent in interviews instead of doing their normal jobs. It's all about calculating the return on that investment. So there you have it. The hiring process isn't some big mystery. It's a machine, a carefully designed 5-stage funnel for planning, strategizing, searching, screening, and evaluating. And now that you understand the blueprint of this machine, the final question really is for you. Whether you're out there looking for a job or you're getting ready to hire someone for your team, how are you going to use this knowledge to your advantage?